I'm Bilal.
I'm David.
And
We're missing Hiro.
Yes, we are missing Hiro. He's not here with us today. This is our app, Pillar. Now, Pillar came to us after we were brainstorming ideas for what to do for our next app, and I went to my sister, who's a nurse, and I asked her, what's something you wish you had that could make your life easier at the hospital? And she came to us and was like, when a new when someone comes to the hospital, we need to track down their doctor, their medical history, type of pills they're taking, make sure we have like a thorough background, and that takes time. If there's something that we could have that could cut that time in half, and so just brainstorming that idea, we came up with a concept to create a friendly medication management system for people, doctors, pharmacies. They'll track your pills, be able to share it. It gives you like interactions with other drugs that you're taking. So we looked around. There were a few other sites that have done something similar in the past, but Hiro has one that he uses, and he showed it to us. It's very clunky. There's too much going on the dashboard. It's not user-friendly at all. So our approach was to make something nice and simplistic for users to use to track their pills.
So our basic structure is that we have the front page with a sign in or a sign up or a login, and that takes you to the dashboard where you get to interact with all of your prescriptions as well as all the other information we collect. Some of our features that we can store more than one medication. We get information from the user that we can then display back to them and alert them when certain events are coming up. And so I think this will be a little more effective if we just show you. Hiro did the design work, and I'll let it speak for itself. So we use MySQLize, and this is all great, but I think this will. All right, so this is the front screen. This is Hiro did this cool CSS thing in the background. I don't know if you can see, it's really faint, but we were talking about networks. Our whole idea behind this project is that we want this app to be a person's key between their different doctors, their different pharmacies, different things that happen in their life. Because when you take 1 or 2 medications a day, it's not a big deal. But when you're starting to take all these different pills for different things as we all grow older, it becomes much more harder to track. And if you forget about something when you're going to the doctor's office, you don't know if what the doctor's going to give you is going to have an interaction, and that gets really serious. And all of these issues get compounded the more medication you have. If you think about more folks who are chronically ill, especially, and have to be on a lot of medications, they go to the doctor and they have to fill out these forms every single time. So we wanted something which the doctors, hospitals, pharmacies, and the users could all connect with in a cohesive way. So you go to the site. It tells you a little bit of what we do. There's manage your medications. Doctors can use it. Pharmacies use it. So login page. It's pretty simple. And this is the dashboard. So it's pretty clean. Over here is an automatically generated list of the medications that you are currently on. If you click on it, you get information, such as some directions, how many refills you have left, what the dose is, what doctor it's from, and whether to take it with food. So as you see, there's all these different ones. You can delete certain things, and you do that, and it actually falls out of your database as well. And we have some useful features that we think users would really benefit from. There's a doctors feature, which just tells you which doctors you have, and in a future version, clicking on any doctor would give you a view of what medications that doctor has prescribed for you. It's the same thing with pharmacies. I just tried to turn this on. It doesn't work. This app was working. We had a fully functional version Friday, at 7 p.m., and then where we had to connect all the different parts. And then Friday at midnight, we had nothing. The same thing. So we had to rebuild it. But the thing that I'm most proud of is this interactions feature. We hooked it up to an API. First of all, when you enter a drug. So for example, let's try one. Which one did we just delete?
Prozac.
Prozac. So for example, this is the entry form. Prozac, and you can see all this different information. Let's say we take 30 milligrams. We can take it in the mornings. What day do we fill it in? We got 30 days, and it's only one refill, and it was Dr. Happy who gave it to us from Rite Aid. And life sucks. So you submit, and here it is. And you have it right there. And you have all your information there, right? So if you click on this button, and this is something that's going to be automated in later versions, but for now, if you click on this button, oh, of course. No, it was working. This is a really weird and complicated feature that I'm very happy about. But there you go. So it actually hits two different things. The first is that it compares the name that you put in with a list from something called RxNorm, which is already a database which compiles all different medications and gives them a number so that people can track them. And it's divided by dosage. They have monthly updates, sometimes even weekly updates. And there's another API that uses their codes to identify interactions between drugs. So what the interactions thing does is it tells you if there are any drugs that you're on that interact with each other, and it tells you what the possible interactions would be. So here we see that Allegra interacts with whatever aluminum hydroxide. It was the first one that interacted with Allegra, that's why I chose it. And it has that effect, right? Fexofenadrine can decrease when it's combined with aluminum hydroxide. So this is obviously important to know. Should we look at
you can show them the database for the medicine.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I actually have it closed. There's a lot of database where that came from. I think I don't really want to get too bogged down in code, but the one thing that I do want to show that I'm very proud of is precisely how that check interactions feature works. What happened is that we took all the medicines that we have, right, and we run them through Ajax get, right, to the we take a post request to get all of their information. Then we take all that information, we run it through the API, and we return a lot of information. But the thing is that since we have so many medications for every single user, you have to run that Ajax request many times, but it's asynchronous, so it doesn't work. So this is something I was struggling over, and with some help from the internet, and then just some finally tinkering. This is the way we did it. It's broken up into when you click on a button, it runs the check interactions function, which does the post request, gets all the information, and starts the Ajax, right, with this array of your current medications. From there, we enter that array as an argument into this, and this is where we actually call the Ajax request. But as you can see here, this is the only way to loop through an Ajax request, and this is, I think this is but I think this is going to be really useful. So I can put this on the internet, obviously. But what you do is that you actually call, you create an array with promises. So you send out Ajax requests in this special way with this .when and .apply, and what it gives back to you is a promise, and then that promise gets stored into an array, and that array slowly gets iterated over, and when it's all done, then you can move forward, right? And this prevents it from breaking a for loop, because otherwise it wouldn't work. So once you do that, it's actually within here that it says run Ajax, and this is where we actually run the Ajax, right? And then we push it to another function, and see, this is actually Kevin and I were talking about this before, trying to figure out how to get data from GET request into a variable that you could actually manipulate, and we don't know a way. I don't know a way, at least. We were trying to figure it out. So what we ended up doing is we actually have to just pass every single variable, every single piece of data that we have all the way down through arguments until we get to a point where it's manipulated enough for us to actually be able to use it on our page. So the result, which is the huge list of results from this interaction API, the R, which is the specific medication we're investigating, and the whole array of medications gets passed here, and then this is where it gets manipulated, put into objects, and then finally at the end here, it just gets appended to the modal. Yeah, that's I was proud of that one. So
Questions?
we have.
Way to determine between generic drugs and rigor drugs. So, let's say version 4 by Tylenol, and then you get the generic version, which is covered by insurance. Can you have that, or is that not available?
So the database itself has breakdowns of drugs, like one specific drug have a breakdown in different dosage. So I think it had over 225,000 lines of entries in the database.
Yeah,
so,
no, it has generic versions and like brand name versions.
Yeah, because sometimes like my doctor he gives me the normal one, and I'm like, well, I don't want to pay for normal, and I don't care to get a generic one because it's cheaper.
Yeah.
It's something that's essentially the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
But then like I feel like doctors by default they want to get that one because they monopoly, so they get compensation if they get the burger.
Yeah, we're not fighting monopolies yet, but
the way this API works too is they do update it weekly as well.
yeah, that's right, weekly.
So it does get updated quite frequently with the newest
And
drugs.
some places that we want to go forward, I think that we sort of are putting the front end, the server side, and the actual mechanics of the JavaScript and the database work was the most challenging part. So I think we need to figure out, something I want to move forward in is figuring out how to actually coordinate that better in a group, in a team. But some of the things we had talked about on our wish list is PDF export, so that you can just click a button and it automatically opens an email with an attachment of your medications to send to your doctor, to whoever you want, to your family members. Pharmacy side integration, so you go to the pharmacy, you pick up your prescription, on your receipt, you give them, you check in somehow through this thing, and on your receipt there's a QR code with something that encrypts in relation to your account, and when you scan it and log in, it just gives you all the information you need right already on your app. And then doctor and hospital side integration, which is the opposite. You go to the doctor and you can log in on their thing, and then they see all of your prescriptions that you already have. And of course, mobile alerts. So every day at 10 in the morning, your phone buzzes and says, "Oh, don't forget to take your whatever." And they go, "Okay, great." And also monthly for refills.
Yeah.
I'll let you know. Yeah. Questions? Yes.
So we need to put a QR and Twilla together with yours.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh yeah, so did your sister talk about it?
Yeah, so that was why we kind of just cut down the scope of it, because before we were like share all this stuff, but from office to office, but we realized we couldn't. So we started it off in a place where it could be a user just sharing it themselves, and then from there we'll see what we can do.
That's really smart.
Yep. Any other questions?
How long did it take you to work with the RX norm, the RX API? Is
Um,
that like hard?
It comes out as a huge object. So let me just for a little bit. This is what I need to do to get it to give me like the code, the name, and the possible effect that it would have. So this is like many. It's a very like big JSON object. So yeah. Yep.
I was gonna say, if you do end up watching anything live, just make sure you go through all the legals.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Just in case people, mix stuff
Mhm.
up.
That's it. Cool.